another episode of Stand On SP Play. We got news.
We got news.
We got news.
Like
we got to talk about it. PlayStation 4. Yeah, that's right. PlayStation 4 is up first.
Right.
News. They're getting an emulator patch.
Awesome.
Which will include PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 emulation.
Awesome.
On the device. Absolutely. I'm thinking the emulation is for PlayStation Now. I could be wrong.
I would think so.
I mean,
possibility.
Do you think that backwards compatibility has, even though, you know, you should keep your old consoles, it's always an issue.
It is.
People are trying to get rid of space. If they want to keep their old games library. Do you think sooner or later that they could work that? Because, you know, the PlayStation 1 games are on normal CD.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
The DVD laser reads that, and there is a normal DVD laser in the PS4. So could they just switch that over? I mean, I know the hardware is too fast. Like if you try to play a CD-ROM game on a PlayStation 4, it's going to go by really, really quick. But emulation speed, do you think they could emulate those titles using Laserdisc?
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's a possibility.
I'm not a software engineer. I don't know how that works, but I'm pretty sure the intent is to ramp up their service for PlayStation Now.
I would think so.
But
either way, it's still pretty cool.
Make it a lot more attractive for that $400 price point if it could play all 4 generations of games.
Yes.
Just saying.
Very
just throwing that out there.
But I mean, you got to think though. It is cheaper than what the other systems.
Well, see, every PS3 can play a PlayStation 1 game.
Right.
Can't play, you know, only the 60 gig and the 20 gig 2006 launches.
Right.
No, it's 2007 launches.
Right.
Those two consoles can play
1, 2, and 3.
PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3.
Right.
Every PS3 can play PlayStation 1, PlayStation 3 games.
Right.
So I think emulation is kind of important. So.
Yeah. And I would say if the PlayStation 4 was still capable of doing the PlayStation 1 disc games, why not just make it the PS2 emulator? Not have to go back if people still have their game library.
Absolutely.
That's the reason why you keep your old games.
Absolutely. But until they make that official, hold on to your PlayStation 3s, hold on to your PlayStation 2s, and hold on to your PlayStation 1s.
Yes.
I mean, I would anyway, just in case.
Yeah. I've got all 3 of them.
I have the PlayStation 1, and I have my 60 gig fat. I gave my PlayStation 2 to my son, and he destroyed it.
I had an extra PlayStation 2, but I gave it to my brother, and yeah, so the rest is history.
But my PlayStation 3, I'm able to enjoy all of my game library off that. So I never hook up I've got a PSX in there, and I never hook it up.
Yeah. Wow, you got that one right. But it's always good to hold on because if that one crashes.
I mean, that's why I don't hook up my Super Nintendos, because I got the Retro Duo down there.
Right.
Well, why would I?
Exactly.
It plays all the...
Exactly.
Anyway. Moving on. Microsoft is in the news, and I know you're going to think that I am being a jerk and I'm just picking on Microsoft, but let me tell you, Microsoft's had some negative press going on right now, and we need to address that.
Yes.
And Sony's not done a whole lot to piss me off. They're putting emulation. They've got PlayStation Now coming. They're doing all this innovative stuff. They have finally got it this time around.
They do.
Last generation, I, being a Sony loyalist, had to suffer through the first couple of years of the PlayStation 3 being not so great. But after that first couple of years, it got pretty awesome, and it turned around pretty quick, and now they get it. And that's why I have no complaints yet.
Definitely.
But Xbox One, okay, let's put it out there first of all. First things first we need to talk about is we talked last week on the Microsoft taking the Kinect and giving up 8% of dedicated GPU to developers.
Right.
And that's not helping.
No.
Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is far inferior on the Xbox One than it is on the PlayStation 4.
Wow.
PlayStation 4 is running 1080p. Dips sometimes. for the most part, it runs 60 frames per second, but sometimes it dips down 50, 40%.
Right.
You know, But, yeah, the Xbox One is sluggish. Dipping sometimes as low as 30 to 20 frames per second.
Wow.
And only running at 720p.
That's not good at all.
No, that's not good at all. So we need to talk about that because it's happened with all the launch titles too. It happened with Battlefield 4. It happened with Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. And the main thing is what Xbox has done is they said, well, we'll put out DDR3 RAM to save money and put in the Kinect. More, the sophisticated hardware. But Sony's like, we're going GDDR5 RAM. We're staying up to the... And that's the difference. And a lot of people are saying, well, why don't they just put 12 gigs of RAM, 12 gigs DDR3 RAM in the Xbox One? Well, they probably could do that, but it wouldn't help. It's the speed of the RAM. Yeah. And they may fix this in later Xbox One installations, but when your install base is, they got 3 some odd million last time we counted floating around out there.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Hey, call everybody up.
Yeah,
send them
recall on your Xbox One. I mean, that's not how that works. So.
That's bad.
It is bad. You know what it reminds me of? Back in the day, when I was a youngster, we had these two systems. One was called Super Nintendo, and one was called Sega Genesis. And for third-party platform games, you didn't play them on the Sega Genesis because third-party games sucked on the Sega Genesis. You played them on Super Nintendo. Yeah. Third-party games suck on Xbox One. You don't play them on an Xbox One. You play them on PlayStation 4. That's what's going on.
Yeah. So could we see a decline in sales for the Xbox One?
Well,
or do you think this will just be like, let's hold off a little bit and then buy the system?
We've not got to the next quarter yet, but at year's end, PlayStation 4 is already 1 million consoles, 1.2 million consoles ahead of the Xbox One.
I mean, they sold a lot more in just the United States than in 15 different countries.
It's a big turnaround.
Oh, yeah.
Big turnaround. So.
Well, I mean, do you think this would affect it, though? Could this affect Microsoft in the long run?
Yes, it could, especially when you get a few years late, into the console life. Here's what's going to have to save Xbox One, and that is the reason they bought Gears of War. Yeah. They need to push some first-party titles out there to make their system. That's what Sega did. They knew they couldn't compete. They stopped trying to compete with Super Nintendo. Right. And that's why the Sonic, the Strider games. Right. The Sega Capcom marriage there,
Yeah, oh yeah.
Kind of what happened. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. It does. I mean,
look at Comic Zone.
That's
a great, even though nobody really got to play it a whole lot, but Comic Zone was a great game, and look how late it came out in the Sega, but it was for Sega.
Right. Oh yeah.
They pushed that first party titles out there, and that's why it still sold. Did it do as well as Super Nintendo? No. But it did enough to hang in for another generation. So.
Right. I mean, that's what it comes down to. If you're able to if you're willing to put the time into it.
So I wonder how many Xbox One add-ons we're going to have. There's going to be like Xbox One CD and Xbox One
Genesis
32X. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, that's why the PlayStation 2 did so well. And, they finally cut production off of them.
Now, here's one thing. Xbox is trying to lower prices. There is going to be a Titanfall bundle with a Titanfall Xbox One. But after that releases, there's going to be they're going to release a white Xbox One. Okay. And then they're going to release a discless Xbox One, which will be $100 cheaper. Huh. But you're not going to be able to play any Blu-rays, DVD. For them to be wanting to do this all-in-one entertainment system and then take the disc tray out,
kind of defeats the purpose of all-in-one.
Yeah.
So. No, you know what they're going to do? They're gonna create a little disc, like a little CD player with a USB port. Plug it into the Xbox, and they're gonna charge you another $200 for it.
Tell us what you think about Xbox One not being, their third-party support kind of sucks right now. Yeah. And what they can do to fix it. Tell us what you think they're going to have to do. I don't know what they're going to have to do. I think they're going to have to give up on third parties and start buying up some more first-party studios.
Yeah, I would say so.
But look at how many first-party studios Sony has. I mean, they're nowhere near where Nintendo is, but I mean, there's still a lot of studios.
Oh yeah.
When you consider,
I mean, there's more exclusives.
Naughty Dog, Santa Monica,
right?
You know what I'm saying? There's just tons of them. More Microsoft news. At participating Microsoft stores, if you can find one. When do you ever see a Microsoft store?
Never.
We don't have one around here. So I've traveled a lot, and I've never seen one.
Me either.
I've never seen this Microsoft store. But at participating Microsoft stores, this might be a West Coast, East Coast thing. I don't know. In the East Coast, we don't have them, so I don't know. I've never seen one. But here's what you can do. You can take your PS3, or let me rephrase this. You can take any of the past 3 iterations of Xbox 360, the Xbox 360 Slim, the Xbox 360 R2D2, whatever, the one that looks like the Xbox One, but it's not an Xbox One, it's an Xbox 360.
Right.
If you take it and trade it in at the Microsoft store, they will give you $100 credit towards buying an Xbox One, making it the same price as the PlayStation 4, because you're getting it for $400 plus your Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Or any model of PlayStation 3. That's how bad they want to sell these Xbox Ones. Any. It could be the old, fat
that just goes to show me
Generation 1 PS3, or it can be the latest iteration. Any model of PlayStation 3.
That just goes to show that they're a little desperate.
But why would you do this, first of all?
I don't know.
If the Xbox One's not playing third-party titles as well as the PS4, and the PS4 is already $100 cheaper.
Why would you?
Why would you trade in your PS3 with all of its great game library when you can they're only going to give you $100 for it? Just go ahead and buy a PlayStation 4.
Exactly. If you've already got the $400, why not just go buy the system that's ready?
This is mind-boggling. What Microsoft is thinking, and there's not any games on the Xbox One really right now yet. I mean, there's games coming out this year, but until we get like 2 or 3 years down the road, why would you ever trade in?
Yeah,
there's just not enough games on these systems to trade in your old system. So no, the answer is no.
Exactly.
Don't do that. That's a terrible idea.
Horrible. Horrible.
So, do you have anything? Have you heard anything around the world?
Nah, I got my Game Informer and see the Mighty number 9 coming out pretty soon. I'm excited. The good thing is, though, it's coming out on all 4 consoles.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
They made well above their Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah. You'll get the PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. So.
And PC.
Yeah,
Steam.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm kind of excited about that.
And I think they're even going to put it on Nintendo. So there'll be another game for Nintendo.
Awesome.
Wii U. I don't know. There's so many third parties pulling away from Nintendo Wii U because there's just not enough consoles out there for them to even worry about.
Yeah.
You got to think.
I see.
PlayStation 4 sold in 1 month what Wii U sold in a year.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I see.
Why?
I see the Wii disappearing off the.
I don't.
There, like they'll still have them, but
I think it's going to be a 5-year console.
Do you?
Instead of a 10-year console.
I'll give them 3. I'll give them benefit of the doubt.
No, they got to eat 5 out of it.
It's going to be very
losses.
It's going to be very hard. I mean, I haven't.
So, But let us know what do you think about the news stories we covered today? Xbox One.
They just need to get their
PlayStation 4
together.
And
Xbox really needs to get their stuff together and quick.
Very quick.
Because I mean,
they got a new CEO, so maybe they can do it.
I hope so.
John Balmer or whatever that guy's name is, he's gone.
Oh, well, we'll see.
And Bill Gates is still on as a consultant, but I mean
that man's got enough money. Just go lay in his bed and roll over for all week here. I mean, he makes it. He's making. I was reading something.
He's still the richest man in the world.
Yeah, I was reading something. I think like every minute he's making like $100,000. Every minute.
I don't know about that, but he's still the richest man in the world. I do know that.
You know what? Seriously, someone could go rob him and he'd just be like, "Oh, it's just change."
But yeah, I mean,
you know, it's like that's how much money he has. But I don't know.
But he was never into the console things.
No.
So he's more of a software kind of guy.
Which he did. I mean, he got the right career choice, obviously.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. Are you going to trade in your Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 to get $100 chump change towards the Xbox One?
Nope. Not going to do it.
And what do you think we should do about Xbox One third-party support? And what do you think the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 emulators are going to be used for on the PlayStation 4? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure that you share us with your friends, like the video, subscribe, and until next time, we will catch you
on the flip side.